Hey, so I just got back from a weekend in St. George, Utah, beautiful sunny St. George, and I had a chance to stop at the Video Game Exchange. It's a nice little retro store they have down there, pretty good selection, friendly staff. I think it's a pretty great store. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm the most frugal purchaser of video games. I like to buy up games when I see them on an impulse. I guess it sort of goes back to when I was a kid, walking around in the store. I would see a video game and look at its cover art and think, yeah, you know, that looks badass, I'd love to have it. And I guess that's just a habit that I've had that's grown up with me. So I don't always get games for a steal. Sometimes I go over the average price, but usually I try to keep it around that ballpark. For the sake of argument, the average price of these games is based on the Amazon.com and eBay prices, selling prices, the final sales for each month. So let's check out some of these games. First, we got a game that I was lacking for my NES collection, and that is GOLGO 13, Top Secret Episode. This game is interesting because it's sort of like a Japanese espionage James Bond type game, and there's an interesting scene in it which slipped past Nintendo's censors, where you sort of just bang bitches and smoke cigarettes and stuff to gain health, and I think that's cool. Cool piece of history. We also have the Mafat Conspiracy, or Mafat Conspiracy. Not quite sure how to pronounce that, but that's the sequel to GOLGO 13, Top Secret Episode. I'm not sure if the same censor slipping happened here, but I'm going to check this one out in the future, definitely. On the PS1, we have this game, Machine Head. I talked about in one of my Genesis Does episodes that I like to buy games based on cover art. It's a bad habit, but I do it anyway. It looks like it's sort of a first-person shooter. I've never played it, never really even heard of it. Fully SGI'd rendered 3D virtual landscapes with 360-degree mapping terrain. You know, whatever. It's an early 3D first-person shooter. Looks like it's actually might be a vehicle shooter. I'll be checking that out. It's got some pretty badass cover art. Also on the PS1, we have Wild 9, which, correct me if I'm mistaken, but I believe it's by the people who were behind Earthworm Jim, one of my favorite Genesis games, and the cover art on it reflects that. Again, buying games based on cover art. Not really a good idea, but we'll check this one out. Yeah. Torture your enemies, it says. We'll see about that. For the Neo Geo Pocket Color, I got Metal Slug, the second mission. Pretty much anything that's not by Nintendo or Sega doesn't come up in the wild near where I live, so I had to pick this one up. I love Metal Slug first mission. I'm sure I will love this one. I've heard it's better, but we'll see about that. Now for my Sega Genesis games. Here we have SUBTERRANIA, which, I'll be honest, this game's hard as balls and I've never beaten it, but maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll beat it and check it out in a video, who knows. The ship is falling always and you have to kind of control the thrusters. It's really strange. I've never really played anything like it, but it's really fun, so maybe we'll check that out. Maybe I'll finish it up, but it is fairly difficult. Sword of Vermilion. Sword of Vermilion. I said sword, but it's one of the few RPGs on the Genesis. I mean, the Genesis did get a couple RPGs, but nothing really on the scale of the Super Nintendo, so maybe we'll have to check this one out as well. Last but not least, like I said, I buy games based on their cover art, and I bought this one based on its absolutely horrifying cover art. Shadow Blasters. Looks terrible. Never played it. It looks like a side-scrolling platformer similar to Blades of Vengeance, but we'll see about that. Kinda looks absolutely horrifying. So, yeah, we'll check that out too. Yeah, and I got all of those games at the Video Game Exchange in St. George. It's a nice little store. Go check it out if you're ever down in Utah, down in St. George. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe.